Our former US President Donald Trump is back in court today as opening statements began in his New York hush money criminal trial. He's facing charges of falsifying business records to conceal hush money payments that were made to a porn star. Now, the courts will now hear from the first witness, the former CEO of American media, David Pecker. And just before he went into court, Trump told reporters that the trial was an attempt to disrupt his campaign to be the next US president.
Thank you very much. I just want to say before we begin, these are all Biden trials. This is done as election interference. Everybody knows it. I'm here instead of being able to be in Pennsylvania and Georgia and lots of other places campaigning. And it's very unfair. Fortunately, the poll numbers are very good. They've been going up because people understand what's going on. This is a witch hunt, and it's a shame. And it comes out of Washington. It's in coordination with Washington, everything, including the DA's office. It's in coordination with Washington. I just want people to understand that this is done for purposes of hurting the opponent of the worst president in the history of our country.
Indeed, just a few minutes ago, Donald Trump's lawyer came out and spoke to reporters and said what Donald Trump did wasn't even wrong. Well, joining me now is the former White House advisor to President Trump, Sebastian Gorka. Sebastian, it's always a delight to have you on the show. So, Donald Trump's critics are saying this is the day Donald Trump hoped would never come. Donald Trump himself is imploring people to save our country and protest outside courts across the land. It's day one and it's already hugely dramatic. What's the latest?
Well, it's really what the president said. It's an utter travesty. The only reason this is occurring, Martin, is that this individual, my former boss, is trouncing the current incumbent, Joe Biden, in polls. Every significant poll says that if we had a free and fair election today, he would defeat the incumbent, Joe Biden. And this is just rank election interference. Think about the fact that this is a case that was declined by the prosecutor's predecessor from New York, who said, no, there's no case there. The Federal Elections Commission said, no, there's no case there. And this is a man, the prosecutor, who was funded by George Soros during his campaign, because we elect prosecutors in this municipality. And he actually campaigned on putting President Trump in prison. So this has nothing to do with justice. The key witness is a convicted perjurer, Michael Cohen. And Stormy Daniels has published a letter in 2018 where she said she never had any kind of relationship with President Trump. So this is just an attempt to keep President Trump off the campaign trail and to keep him tied up until the election.
And in fact, Sebastian, the court just heard that Donald Trump's team are claiming that Stormy's salacious testimony does not matter, implying she's simply doing it for the money.
If you look at this woman's track record, I think anybody can decide for themselves what this is about. And the most important thing is that this is a New York court. The most important thing that the president mentioned just there, that the chief prosecutor, Bragg, is using is an individual called Matthew Colangelo. Where did Matthew Colangelo come from? Oh, he was just magically spirited from Biden's Department of Justice to the New York DA's office. This is a 15-year Democrat strategist who used to work for, wait for it, Barack Obama. This tells you everything you need to know about a politically motivated prosecution that is rather a persecution.
And Sebastian, the thing about this, of course, is that every day Donald Trump is having to give evidence, sit through evidence, be in court. It's a day he can't be out campaigning. It's a day he can't be out fundraising. Is that another part of this? The process itself is a punishment.
Indeed, as FBI whistleblowers who have come out to talk about the targeting of conservatives in the last few years, brave men like Steve Friend and Carl Serafin, they've used exactly that phrase. You nailed it. The process is the punishment. But they've kind of shot themselves in the foot here, because he may not be able to hold mass rallies, as is his wont, whilst he is in court. He can do that, of course, at the weekend. But as you just played a clip of, every time he goes to the court and leaves the court, they provide him a platform where the press have to be there. And then we had that incredible moment last Tuesday when he left the court, went to Harlem, you know, the epicenter, of Black American community in Manhattan, in New York. And what happened in Harlem? The children started chanting, "We love you, Trump." So they've kind of shot themselves in the foot, because the trial in and of itself gives my former boss an incredible daily political platform.
And how do you think this is going to pan out? Is this a show trial? Will it have any significance? Will it have any resonance? Or is it just about, putting Donald Trump's dirty laundry out for the public to see to try and affect the election in November?
Well, look, our legal system is based upon the British system. We have a jury of 12 citizens who will decide, 2 of them who are lawyers. But the question is it a jury pool of his peers? Let's remember, New York overwhelmingly, more than 70%, voted for Joe Biden. So are these 12 individuals all Democrats? The fact that they gave some very strange answers in the voir dire selection process about where they get their information from would lend me to suspect that they probably mostly Democrats. But all we need is one person to understand that this is a political show trial, and then President Trump walks scot-free, and we know once more that they are trying to use the court system as lawfare, as a law weapon against President Trump.
OK, thanks for joining us for your expert insights. Always a pleasure. That's Sebastian Gorka,
Cheers.
Former White House advisor to Donald Trump. Well, moments ago, Donald Trump's attorney, Alina Habba, came out of court and spoke to reporters. Let's have a listen to what she had to say.
This is where your taxpaying dollars are going, America. Right here. Witch hunt after witch hunt. President Trump's company was worth more in that case than it is now. And now what? We're here because of something that happened when he was in the White House that wasn't even wrong. It was not wrong. You hire lawyers to solve problems, lawyers solve those problems, you pay them. That's it. This is a joke. It's an affront to the American Constitution. It's an affront to our judicial system. And it's an affront to every lawyer that cares about their license, that cares about what is right and wrong. I am sick of coming in front of the press and saying this, but you have to, because you people need to understand what is going on. God forbid you put an accounting thing in for legal counsel. It's legal counsel. And now our taxpayer dollars, my time, our attorney's fees, are all here because they're afraid of 2024. And you know what? They should be, because the American people are not stupid. They see what's going on. Thank you.
Well, fighting talk there. That was Alina Habba, and that's Donald Trump's attorney outside the court case. The greatest court case on earth at the moment, ahead of the greatest election on earth in November.